All right, so if you're listening to this, you're probably trying to get ahead in your career,
Hmm.
which is great, and we are too.
Yeah.
We found this script, and it's all about career development
Okay.
and professional networking,
Interesting.
but it's written like a movie
Oh, wow.
with scenes and dialogue
Interesting
because we're
approach.
getting a peek into someone else's journey.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that I thought was really interesting was that it highlights how
Right.
online platforms like LinkedIn have totally
Right.
changed the networking game.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really,
It is.
and we could talk about
Yeah.
how we can apply that to really
Yeah.
build a network that helps us grow.
Yeah. A lot of people still think of networking as just attending industry events and collecting business cards.
Right.
But this script is much deeper than that.
Okay.
It emphasizes building mutually beneficial relationships and leveraging your connections strategically.
That makes sense. But how does that actually say?
Work. The script follows this character, Alex, who's trying to advance their career.
Okay.
And in one scene, they need advice on project management.
Uh-huh.
So they reach out to a former colleague who has that specific expertise.
So it's about having the right connections for your goals,
Yes, exactly.
not just
Right.
the biggest network possible.
Exactly. Quality over quantity, always.
Okay.
And the script also makes it clear that networking isn't just about taking.
Right.
It's about giving back, too.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, sharing your knowledge and experience can be just as valuable as receiving advice.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into that trap of thinking, what can this person do for me?
Right.
But offering your own help can really help solidify those connections.
Exactly.
Okay, so the script emphasizes this idea of career development as more than just climbing the ladder.
Yes.
What does that actually mean?
Well, the script dives into the idea that career development is about aligning your skills, values, and aspirations.
So it's more about finding a path that's fulfilling for you, not just chasing a title
Exactly.
or a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the script's emphasis on self-assessment comes in
Yes.
and seeking feedback.
Regularly.
Yeah, they keep mentioning regular self-assessment, which I
Right.
know is important.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I struggle with actually putting that into practice.
Right.
It's I know I should be setting goals and reflecting on my progress,
Of course.
but actually doing it consistently,
Yeah.
well, that's a different story.
I think that's a challenge a lot of people face.
Yeah,
You get caught up in the day-to-day and don't make time for that self-reflection.
right.
But the script offers a really interesting solution.
Okay.
There's a scene where Alex uses a structured self-assessment framework to identify their strengths and areas where they need to improve.
Ooh, a framework.
Yeah.
That's something I could actually use.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the key to making self-assessment less intimidating
Right. And
and more actionable.
it ties back into the network piece, too.
Yep.
The script suggests that seeking feedback from your network, mentors, colleagues, even former bosses,
Mm-hmm.
can provide really valuable insights for your self-assessment.
So it's like having a team of advisors helping you
Exactly.
to see your blind spots. Okay.
And then that feedback can help you focus your networking efforts.
Right.
Once you know where you want to grow, you can strategically connect with people who can help you get there.
All right. So we've covered the basics of career development and this idea of strategic networking.
Yes.
Now let's get into the
Yeah,
nitty gritty of actually building that network,
Okay.
especially in the digital age,
Yeah.
because the script really seems to highlight the power of online platforms.
Absolutely. And when it comes to online networking, LinkedIn is definitely the star of the show,
Okay.
in this script at least.
Okay.
But as the script points out, simply having a profile isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's about using it strategically to make meaningful connections.
So no more randomly sending connection requests and hoping for the best.
Not if you want to make the most of your time and effort.
Right.
The script emphasizes the importance of engaging thoughtfully
Okay.
and treating LinkedIn as a platform for building genuine relationships, not just collecting contacts.
I remember there's a scene where Alex finds someone whose work they really admire
Yes.
and then sends them a personalized message on LinkedIn,
Right?
praising their work and expressing a genuine interest in connecting.
Hmm.
That seems much more effective than a generic, I'd like to add you to my professional network message.
Absolutely. That kind of personalized approach shows that you've taken the time to learn about the person and their work,
Right.
and that you're not just blindly sending out requests.
Okay.
The script also highlights the importance of customizing your LinkedIn profile to attract the right connections for your specific goals.
That's a really good point. I've been meaning to update my profile,
Okay?
but I wasn't really sure how to make it stand out to the people I actually want to connect with.
Think of your LinkedIn profile as a virtual storefront for your professional brand.
Oh, okay.
It needs to showcase your skills, experience, and aspirations.
So no more listing every single job I've ever had, even the summer gig scooping ice cream in high school?
Probably not, unless that somehow relates to your current career goals.
Oh, okay.
The key is to highlight the experiences and skills that are most relevant to the type of connections you're seeking.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked about building the network, but what about maintaining it?
Right.
Because the script also emphasizes the importance of nurturing those relationships.
Absolutely. Building a network is only half the battle.
Okay.
The real magic happens when you actively cultivate those connections and turn them into lasting relationships.
So how do we do that?
Well, there's a scene in the script where Alex follows up with a contact after a meeting,
Uh-huh.
expressing gratitude and sharing their progress on a project they discussed.
Which is something the script really emphasized as important.
Yes.
I've definitely been guilty of forgetting to follow up after meeting someone. But the script makes it clear that even a simple thank you note can make a huge difference.
It shows that you're not just in it for yourself and that you value the relationship.
Right.
Those small gestures can go a long way in building trust and rapport.
It's like the old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
But maybe it's actually a combination of both.
Exactly.
What you know and who you know.
Your expertise is important, but having a strong network can amplify your impact and open up opportunities you might never have found on your own.
So how do we take all of this and turn it into action? What's the next step for someone who wants to start building a network that actually helps them grow their career?
Well, one of the most impactful things you can do is to start thinking about your network in a more strategic way.
Okay.
Who are the people you admire in your field? Whose work inspires you? Who has achieved the kind of success you're striving for?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people you should be connecting with.
Okay, so start by identifying the people who align with your goals.
Exactly.
What's next?
Once you've identified those key people, reach out to them.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to be bold. Send them a personalized message on LinkedIn, comment on their articles or posts, or even ask for a brief informational interview.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what opportunities might arise from a simple conversation.
So be proactive and don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Exactly.
Okay.
And remember, networking is a two-way street.
Right.
Always be willing to offer your help and support to others in your network.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing your knowledge and expertise not only strengthens your connections, but also establishes you as a valuable resource.
Yeah, I'm starting to see how all of this fits together.
Right.
It's not just about attending networking events and collecting business cards.
Right.
It's about building genuine relationships.
Yes.
Being strategic in your connections
Mm-hmm.
and being willing to give as much as you receive.
Exactly. It's about cultivating a network that supports your growth and helps you to achieve your career aspirations.
Awesome. This is all starting to click for me, like we're shifting from like a transactional view of networking
Yeah.
to a more relational one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people, myself included,
Yeah.
might be wondering, okay, I get it, build relationships, but
Right.
where do I even start?
Yes.
Like, it feels overwhelming.
That's totally understandable.
Yeah.
The script actually touches on this.
Okay.
It's not about suddenly needing to be best friends with everyone in your industry.
Right.
Start small.
Okay.
Think about your existing network.
Okay.
Colleagues,
Yeah.
classmates, even people you've connected with online.
You mean like people I've actually had conversations with, not just random LinkedIn connections?
Exactly. Those existing connections are a great foundation.
Okay.
Maybe there's someone you've always admired
Mhm.
but haven't reached out to in a while.
Yeah.
Or a former colleague who's doing something interesting
Right.
that you'd like to learn more about.
Okay. So I can leverage those existing connections.
Yes.
But what about those people I admire from afar?
Right.
Like the ones who are kind of industry rock stars.
Okay.
How do I approach them without feeling like I'm being pushy or out of
Yeah.
line?
That's where the script's emphasis on authenticity comes in.
Okay.
It's about expressing genuine interest and admiration,
Okay.
not trying to force a connection
Right. Yeah.
or expecting something in return.
I remember that scene where Alex reaches out to someone whose book they loved
Yes.
and they didn't ask for a job or a favor.
Right,
They
yeah.
just shared how much the book had impacted them
Yeah.
and expressed a desire to connect.
That's a perfect example.
Hmm.
People are generally flattered when others appreciate their work.
Right.
A simple message saying, I really enjoyed your recent article on X, and I'd love to hear more about your perspective on Y,
Mhm.
can go a long way.
So it's about finding common ground and demonstrating that you're genuinely interested in what they have to say.
Precisely. And if they don't respond or aren't available to connect, Don't take it personally.
Right.
Everyone is busy, and sometimes it's just a matter of timing. The important thing is to put yourself out there and not be afraid to initiate those conversations.
You mentioned earlier the importance of customizing your LinkedIn profile
Yes.
to attract the right connections.
Mm-hmm.
Any specific tips on how to do that?
Yeah.
Because honestly, my LinkedIn profile is pretty bare bones right now.
Well, the script actually offers a great framework for thinking about your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Think of it as a story, not just a resume.
Okay.
What's your professional narrative? What are the key experiences and skills that have shaped your career trajectory?
Okay. So it's more about highlighting the why behind my experiences,
All right.
not just listing the what.
And use strong verbs and descriptive language to bring your experience to life.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to showcase your personality and let your passion shine through.
This is making me realize that my LinkedIn profile is basically just a boring list of job titles and dates.
Okay.
I need to spice things up a bit.
And don't forget the visuals. A
Ah.
professional headshot and a well-designed banner image
Yeah.
can make a big difference.
I actually hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so visuals, storytelling, and tailoring the content to my target audience.
Exactly.
Got it.
Okay.
But once I've spruced up my profile and started making those connections,
Mm-hmm.
how do I actually nurture those relationships?
Right.
Because we talked about how it's not just a one-time transaction.
Yeah.
It's about building ongoing connections.
That's where consistency is key.
Okay.
The script highlights the importance of staying top of mind
Okay.
by engaging with your network regularly,
How do we do that?
like commenting on their posts, sharing articles they might find interesting,
Hmm.
or congratulating them on their accomplishments.
So it's those small, consistent actions
Yes.
that demonstrate you're genuinely interested and invested in the relationship. It's not just reaching out when you need something.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of a handwritten note or a quick email
Right.
just to check in, see how someone is doing.
Yeah.
Those personal touches can go a long way.
This is making me think about networking in a whole new light.
Good.
It's not just about attending stuffy industry events
Right.
and forcing awkward conversations.
Yeah.
It's about building genuine connections, offering support, and celebrating each other's successes.
Precisely. And the script reminds us that these relationships can not only benefit our careers,
Yeah,
but also enrich our lives on a personal level.
I like that.
When you surround yourself with supportive and inspiring individuals, it creates a positive ripple effect
Okay.
that extends far beyond the professional realm.
This has been incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling more inspired and equipped to take my networking game to the next level.
That's fantastic. And remember, the key is to take action.
Okay.
Don't let these insights just sit in the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Start by identifying one small step you can take today to strengthen your network or make a new connection.
I love that.
Good.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the how of networking. But before we wrap up, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the why.
Going.
Why is networking so crucial for career development,
Okay.
especially in today's rapidly evolving job market?
That's a great question. I think the script touches on this in a subtle way,
Okay.
but it's worth emphasizing.
Okay.
In today's world, information is power,
Right.
and networking is one of the most effective ways to access that information.
You mean information about job openings, industry trends, new technologies?
All of that and more.
Wow.
Your network can provide insights and perspectives that you might never find on your own.
Okay.
It's like having a team of advisors and informants who are constantly feeling you valuable intel.
So it's not just about who you know.
Right.
It's about what you know because of who you know.
Exactly. And that knowledge can give you a significant competitive advantage in your career.
This is making me realize that networking isn't just about getting ahead, it's about staying ahead.
Yes.
It's about constantly learning, growing, and adapting to the ever-changing landscape of the job market.
Precisely.
Mhm.
And the more diverse and robust your network is,
Mhm.
the more resilient you'll be to those changes.
Okay.
Because you'll have access to a wider range of perspectives and resources.
So it's like having a safety net, but
Mhm.
also a launch pad.
Yeah.
It's about having the support and the knowledge to navigate the twists and turns of your career journey.
That's a great way to put it. And the
Right.
beauty of networking is that it's never too late to start.
Right.
Whether you're just starting out your career or you're a seasoned professional,
Yeah.
there's always room to expand your network and build those valuable connections.
I love that message. It's
Mm.
never too late to start investing in your network and reaping the benefits.
And remember, networking doesn't have to be a daunting or overwhelming task.
Right.
Start small, be authentic, and focus on building genuine relationships.
Okay.
The rewards will be well worth the effort.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
Good.
I feel like I've gone from feeling intimidated by networking to actually feeling excited about the possibilities.
That's fantastic to hear, and I'm confident that our listeners are feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Remember, the key is to take action and put these insights into practice.
Absolutely. Don't just listen to this deep dive, do something with it.
Now, the script we've been discussing really focused on LinkedIn.
Mm.
But I think it's important to remember that networking can happen anywhere.
You mean it's not just limited to online platforms?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about your daily interactions at the coffee shop, at the gym, even at volunteer events.
Oh, okay.
You never know who you might meet and what connections you might make.
So it's about being open to opportunities and approaching every interaction as a potential networking moment.
Exactly.
I like that.
And don't forget the power of your alumni network.
Oh.
If you went to college or university,
Yeah.
that's a built-in network of people who share a common experience.
I actually hadn't thought about that. I'll have to dust off my old alumni directory.
It's a gold mine of potential connections.
Okay, so we've got LinkedIn, everyday interactions, alumni networks. Any other networking hotspots we should be aware of?
Well, industry events and conferences can be great opportunities to connect with people who share your interests.
Right.
But don't just attend and collect business cards.
Okay.
Make a conscious effort to engage in meaningful conversations and follow up afterwards.
So be strategic about your networking, even at events that are specifically designed for that purpose.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone
Yeah, okay.
and attend events that are slightly outside of your industry.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what cross-pollination of ideas might occur.
That's a great point. Sometimes the most unexpected connections can lead to the most exciting opportunities.
Exactly. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to emphasize one more time the importance of nurturing those relationships.
Right.
Because a network isn't something you build overnight.
Yeah.
It's something you cultivate over time.
So it's like a garden. You have to tend to it regularly to reap the rewards.
That's a perfect analogy. And just like a garden, a well-tended network can flourish and provide nourishment for years to come.
This has been such an insightful and inspiring conversation.
We're darn glad.
I'm feeling so much more confident and empowered to approach networking with a fresh perspective.
That's wonderful to hear, and I'm sure our listeners are feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Remember, the key is to take action and put these insights into practice.
Absolutely. Don't just listen to this deep dive. Do something with it.
Reach out to someone, update your LinkedIn profile, attend an industry event.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
And most importantly, have fun with it.
Right.
Networking doesn't have to be a chore.
Okay.
When you approach it with a genuine desire to connect and learn from others, it can be an incredibly rewarding experience.
I think what's really resonated with me throughout this whole deep dive is that networking isn't just about like getting ahead in your career. It's about personal and professional growth, like as a whole.
Absolutely. It's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and support your aspirations.
Yeah.
And the script highlights this really well with Alex's journey.
Right.
We see how their network provides not only career advice, but also like emotional support and encouragement.
Yeah, there's that scene where Alex is feeling really discouraged about a setback at work.
Yeah.
And they reach out to a mentor for guidance. And, you
Uh-huh.
know, the mentor doesn't just offer like practical solutions.
Bro.
They offer words of encouragement
It's-
and remind Alex of their strengths.
It's like having a personal cheer squad rooting for you
Right.
every step of the way.
Exactly. And that can be so valuable,
Yeah,
especially during like challenging moments of
absolutely.
your career.
It's a reminder that you're not alone
Right.
in this journey.
So networking isn't just about what you can get. It's about what you can give and receive in terms of support and inspiration.
Exactly.
Okay, I think we've covered just about everything from this script. Any final thoughts or takeaways you want to leave our listener with?
Well, one thing that really stood out to me about the script
Okay.
is that it emphasizes the importance of staying curious and
Mhm.
open to new possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Alex doesn't just network with people in their immediate field.
Right.
They connect with people from diverse backgrounds and industries.
Right, like that scene where Alex goes to a workshop on something totally unrelated to their current job.
Exactly.
But it sparks a new interest that leads to a career shift.
Yeah, you never know where inspiration might come from.
Right.
So it's important to stay open to new avenues
Okay.
and expand your horizons.
So don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and connect with people who are different from you.
Exactly.
It could lead to unexpected opportunities and growth.
Absolutely. And on that note,
Okay.
I'd like to leave our listener with a challenge.
Okay, I like a challenge.
Think about one action you can take this week to invest in your network.
Okay.
It could be as simple as reaching out to someone you admire, updating your LinkedIn profile,
Mm.
or attending an industry event.
I love that challenge. Small steps can lead to big results.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
So true. All right, it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
But before we go, I want to remind our listener that career development and networking are ongoing processes.
Yes.
It's not about reaching a destination.
Right.
It's about constantly learning, growing, and connecting.
Beautifully said. And as we navigate this ever-evolving world of work,
Yeah.
remember that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
You have a network of support and resources to help you thrive.
So keep learning, keep connecting, and keep diving deep.
That's it.